Yeah.
Hi, Gene. We had a countdown to going live. How you doing?
Not bad yourself.
Yeah, good. So Gene Fulton. I mean, we know each other quite well. We've a good few years now.
Yeah.
See each other at paint shows and stuff. And I saw you in Coventry. When was that? Last week?
Yeah, last Tuesday, Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah. And you were like, "Can I?" I was like, "When can you come on the podcast?" And we were like, "Right, let's do it tonight." So I'm pleased you popped on.
My pleasure, sir.
Yeah. So I see you got a paint well top on.
Mm-hmm. My favourite store. I didn't want to be pretentious and put my own logo on.
No, you should have done. What's your
Nah.
company name again?
Genius painting.
Yeah, but you got a wizard on it, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it came about because about 2 years ago, I saw this van and it had like a Harry Potter theme sort of thing, magic wizard thing. I think it was called something like Wizard Plumbing or something like that.
Hmm.
And I thought, wow, that's the sort of thing. What bugs me about decorators and all trades is they just have Fred Bloggs, painter and decorator,
Hmm.
and it gets lost amongst everybody else.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go in that van, it turns heads.
Yeah.
And the amount of work I've got from not advertising, just pulling up when it got done, I had it done for the morning of the Mansfield show last year.
Yeah.
Or this year. And when I went to the Mansfield, were you there at Mansfield?
No, not this year.
No.
Last year I went. It was good.
But where it was parked, everybody looked at it.
So what's the
And
name of it on your van? What's it called?
genius painting.
Yeah, and then you got like a little wizard and
Yeah.
is it
It's like
showing?
Harry Potter Hogwarts thing on
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. And gold stars. They did a really, really good job of it. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't pay for it. The manufacturers paid for it.
Oh, cool. I mean, like you make a good point about company names, and I was the same. I was like GHP decorating, and when you look back, you kind of like that doesn't really mean a great deal. If I was to say hand painted kitchens Hertfordshire or something like that on your van,
Yeah.
which says exactly
People,
what you
people,
do.
yeah. I did a job in London on some property that I own. And I was outside there and I was painting. And this woman 2 doors down said to me, "Oh, my husband wants to see you." Well, she said, "Oh, you're a decorator then." And I thought, "No, I'm a plumber," having a good laugh with her.
Yeah,
And she said, "My husband wants to speak to you." I thought, "Oh, Christ, what have I done?" It only turns out he is the architect to all the celebs and A-listers, and she's the interior designer.
oh nice.
So I got in with them. And now, because of that, I've got June, July, August, September booked up in London, and that big job in Hemel. And
Yeah, I can't believe you're coming on my patch, Gene.
yeah, I go everywhere. I'll go everywhere. And what I specifically wanted to talk about was earnings,
Yeah.
because I don't know whether it's a bugbear of yours, but it's a bugbear of mine. When all I hear is decorators at my local shops, they'll probably kill me if they see this. But
No, I think
they
we.
moan about how much I can earn, how much
Yeah.
I charge, and they say, "How do you manage that?" And I just say, "Well, ask is the first thing,
Yeah.
or do I owe for the last 2 years a big thank you to Phil Beckwith,
Mm.
because I urge everybody in this trade to watch his YouTube video on his earnings. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but what I do, I'll
You've
make
got
a
to.
I'll make a
And
link.
everybody has to do it because 365 days a year.
Yeah.
If you don't work weekends, you've lost over 100 days. take off your bank holidays, take off your holidays, take off a couple of weeks of slack where you've got no work, suddenly you've lost nearly 150 days a year in which you can actually earn money. Now, I was already earning good money. I doubled it overnight. And I thought, oh, sod it. Let's see. It was bloody hard for the first month, trying to convince people. But I did. I got sod all for the first month. But then again, I'd already had work for that month anyway. But after that, it was very hard. But it started coming in. But the big thing I can say to people is target people who's got money. Now, who's got money? Who deals with people that's got money? Interior designers.
Yeah.
I work with most of the interior designers around here in my area. And because how some or I think most of the interior designers work is, they charge a fee for their work. And they charge between 10 and 20% on top of everything else to them. So obviously the more you bill them, the more they can add 20% on. They're earning more for doing the same as somebody who's on, if somebody's on £200 a day, or somebody's on £400 a day, as long as your work is good, and you're being recommended, and you've shown them the photos, they've maybe spoken to some of your clients before they take you on, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. And I cannot understand why people are happy on under 200 quid a day. It's not paying the bit. You're existing. That's all you're doing, is existing. Do you want to better yourself? That's the issue I have. I heard it at the show last week. I know certain areas are deprived, shall we say, for want of a better word. But is there any way you'd be prepared to travel a bit further to earn more? I'll go all over the country.
Yeah.
You know, I will go and I will charge them for my time travelling. I'll charge them for accommodation. But they're happy to pay it. Why should you just be... Or rather, put it this way. Do customers moan about paying 500-600 quid a day for a plumber or a plasterer or an electrician? No, they don't. Yet come the decorator, who we have to sort out all the crap they've left, they think, oh, what? How much?
Yeah.
It is, and I find that it's not difficult to increase your money. Do what I suggest to people, a 10% rule. So if you say you're earning 200, I hate day rates. I never work to a day rate, but we all have a day rate as to what we base it on. So if, for example, you have a £200 day rate, which is probably about the average up around here, 200 to 250, do what I call the 10% rule. Add 10% on and see if people moan. They're not going to moan at 10%. Then add another 10% on, a little bit the following month. And when they start realising, and if it's too much, you can still go back down to your normal rate. But if you don't try, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always said in life. Don't be shy of asking. Christ, I'll ask anything.
Yeah. Well, I've got loads of questions for you, Gene, which I believe will help people listening. So a bit of a backstory for you then. Obviously, you weren't always on the kind of money you're on now.
No.
I know you listen to Phil and that's kind of changed your mindset, but you know, how many years now have you been charging these sort of rates, and how did your business look before? How did your business look beforehand?
Very good. I mean, it's always been good. It's always been good. one thing that really bugs me with decorators is, I would say the majority of them in my area, and to what I was speaking to at the show, they give away their discounts on what they're paying for the paints. Why?
Yeah, I don't agree with
Why?
that. Yeah,
You've got to go and get the paint. You've got to sort all the crap out. This, that, and t'other. Why? That can make 50, 60 more. You know, if it's a small job, it can easily be 50, 60 quid.
yeah,
So there straight away you've made probably 20, 30% more than what you're doing on your day rate.
yeah,
So, and the big jobs, I mean, I frequently get jobs where the paint is 12, 1500 quid. So you imagine, say, 20% on that.
yeah.
That's a good profit. Why should they give it to the customer?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've always, whatever I've paid for the paint at my local store, got a good deal, say 10, 20% off. I've charged that plus another 10% on top. So I'm like 20, 30% I'll be making on any given
That's
job.
what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Plumbers do it. Electricians do it. They don't give you your discounts. Why is it always assumed the decorators will?
Yeah. So going back then to beforehand, you said you were always kind of busy but not earning what you're earning. How, I take it you've been decorating a long time. How
Uh-huh.
did you get your work? Because the reason I ask this is a lot of chat in the forum at the moment. People are struggling, not as busy as what it was.
No, I'm sorry.
Budgets and everything else going on. How were you always busy, and
Yeah.
how did you get your work? What's your
Um,
tips on it?
I have never advertised probably for over 10 years. You build up a portfolio of clients, and you'll probably, some clients I'll see every year. They'll do a couple of rooms this year, a couple of rooms the next year, and so on and so on. And then they recommend you to people, their friends, and then they recommend their friends, and they recommend their friends. I mean, from one customer, probably, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 years ago, I've probably got 100 customers in their
Yeah,
network, in their circle of friends and that. And then their recommendations. So, and I try to, when I go for a job, well, I don't really go for a job now. They come to me 90% of the time. And I feel that the decorators that I know and who I spoke to at the shows and that, they'll take any job going. I won't. The first thing I do when a new customer contacts me and they say, oh, look, I've got this house who wants doing blah, blah, blah. Are you interested? And I'll say, send me some photos. I want photos. I want at least 10 photos of every room you want doing. And I want, decent photos. So it will give me a rough idea of what the job entails. And then I'll contact them and I'll say, what finish do you want and what paints? And they'll say, oh, we've already got the paint. I'll say, sorry, I'm not for you. I will not let a customer, I will never use customers' paint, ever. I'd rather lose a £5,000 job than use bloody B&Q
yeah. I guess
paint.
it's different if they buy quality paints, but the
It's
chances
very
are
rare
quite
they do,
rare.
though. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
They'll buy budget stuff
yeah.
because they don't know any better.
Sure.
And that's the issue. A lot of these places, like Brewers, Paintwell, Crown Decorating, the Dulux places, a lot of customers from when I speak to them don't know about them, or they know about them, but they think they can't go in there.
Yeah. True.
That's
Yeah.
the issue.
Yeah.
And when you explain to a customer when he's just spent 150 quid or 200 quid on, I'm not having a go at B&Q, but as an example, B&Q paint, and they'll say, why won't you use it? I'll say, well, it's retail paint. It's going to take me extra coats to cover, and I hate using the bloody stuff. So get a proper paint. You can thin that down. It usually covers in 2, almost guaranteed, unless it's certain bloody colours. But why should I do extra work when there's no need?
Yeah, I guess
Too
it's
many
all about.
decorators are not strong enough in their mind to turn work down.
Well, the problem is, you and I have both been decorating a long time. You know, I'm in a position where customers do come to me, and that's fortunate. And I think that comes with being established for a long time. I
Yeah,
think the problem is newer decorators, or perhaps they've
it's
got a
hard
team
for
of,
them. It's
yeah, they've
hard.
got a team of people they've got to perhaps keep busy. It is more difficult, isn't it? I mean, I agree with you about qualifying clients as much as possible, so you know you're not going to rock up and you
Well,
can tell
do
they
you
perhaps
know
haven't
what?
got your budget.
When I said, I want their pictures and all that, and
Mm,
then I'll make an appointment to go and see them. But they don't realise, they think they're interviewing me, but I'm actually interviewing them
mm,
to see what sort of customer they're going to be.
yeah, you
And
pre-qualify.
I'll say to them, right, my terms are non-negotiable. It's a 25%, my quote will be valid for 30 days. I need a 25% deposit by that 30th day. And then 1 week before I start, I want the cost of all the paints, accessories, whatever, up front.
Mm,
And then if it's a long job, I want paid every Friday, split into however thing. Too many people say, oh, I've never done that. I'll always bill them at the end. Why should you subsidise the customer?
mm.
Why?
Well,
Classic case I had was with a high street estate agent, very well known. I won't name them. And they rang me up and said, we've got this 5-bed house, has just been vacated out in the country, lots of land with it. They charge something like £4 a month for it. And they said, are you interested? I said, yeah, first thing, what's your terms? What's your terms? Send me your terms first, before anything. And when I looked at it, I thought, what? So, for example, if I finished the job on the 2nd of the month, I couldn't invoice till the end of the month, and then it was 90 days.
mm,
So, in effect, it's 4 months you're subsidising a high street estate agent that will need about 1,500 quid's worth of paint.
yeah,
We only get 30 days. So why the hell should I be subsidising them?
yeah, sure, yeah.
I won't subsidise anybody. Sorry. Won't
I
happen.
think, you know, like I said, going back to what this is all about is pre-qualifying clients, isn't it? And I
It
think
is.
again that comes with the luxury that you've been
Experience.
established for a long time. The fact that you've got connections now with interior designers, you know, that's going to help massively.
Mm.
I think the problem is it's kind of like it's it's easy to say, oh, I don't understand decorators who do X, Y, Z, but everyone's in different positions, aren't they?
They
And
are, and that I totally agree.
yeah, and
Some
I know you're
decorators,
doing this chat
yeah.
to encourage people and not to kind of dismiss people's situations.
No, no, on
I
the
know
contrary.
you
On
are
the
doing,
contrary.
yeah, you want to help decorators and you want, like I do, I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to earn better money. You know, like the regional WhatsApp chats I've set up. I just want
Mm.
people joining that to connect, help each other, you know, and I believe we can grow that and just support
Mm.
each other when people are a little bit quiet, perhaps. We must have enough work between us all to help each other. But it's just trying to get it out there for people to join, you know?
Mm. I know some areas are going to be a lot worse than others.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what you can do about those that live in, shall we say, the not so well off areas, where they're really, really struggling. Because I met a few of them at the show that
Mm.
they were really, really struggling. Um, I just don't know what you can do, because even up in some of the areas they were talking about, the electricians, the plumbers, and the plasterers don't earn a lot.
Mm.
Um, where do you, how can you get that to improve if people haven't got the money? there's not a lot you can do.
No, but there's like you do. You with your contacts, you travel all over. So
Yeah.
not everyone wants to do that, and they've got families or whatever else.
That
But
I'm single. I'm on my own, so it's I don't mind doing that.
but there's got to be wherever you live. There's got to be pockets of wealthy areas.
I've always said that. There's always the better off in bad areas. You'll always see. It doesn't matter how rubbish an area you live in. You'll always see Porsches, Bentleys, Ferraris everywhere you go. You'll
Yeah.
always see them. But then again, all those people with them sort of cars probably don't own them.
No, no, that's often the case.
They're up to their ears in debt on them.
Yeah, I mean, even where I live in Hemel Hempstead, I've done lots over the years, but predominantly my work's been sort of 10, 15 minutes out to Harpenden,
Yeah.
St Albans, Berkhamsted, Tring, slightly wealthier areas. I wish I could work more in Hemel and just be like 5 minutes around the corner, but often, I'm not moaning. I've got
Yeah.
really wealthy towns within half an hour of me,
Yeah.
so I've been quite fortunate. So in terms of interior designers, so it was by chance they discovered you. Um, it's a good option. Someone mentioned it today actually about connecting with interior designers.
Do you
It's
know
a
what?
good
The
shout, isn't it?
work, I specialise, I still do what I call the normal decorating,
Yeah,
but I specialise in wallpapering and spraying.
yeah,
And you can, honestly, the money you can charge for wallpapering, because, and here's the funny thing, Gary, a lot of decorators don't like hanging wallpaper.
no,
I can't understand why. I really can't. There is huge money to be made in it.
yeah.
Huge. You can charge much more than your normal rate for wallpapering.
Give us some idea, Gene, on just to get people enthusiastic about it, and give us some ideas on, you know, it's hard to say. It depends on the size of a room, but say like a feature wall or
Yep.
a bedroom. Give me some ideas, and just to
What?
create
How
some
much?
interest. Yeah, just a rough
Right.
kind.
I'll finish this job tomorrow. Um, and it's a lovely cottage, a modern cottage, shall we say? They already have their own decorator that does the paintwork.
But he can't
Uh,
paper.
no, he won't. He won't paper. He
Yeah,
refuses to paper. So he bought his stuff from the little green paint. He used little green paint and everything, and he did a good job. He prepped it beautifully for me. I just pointed out what I needed doing. He did it, and I was there for 5 hours today, from 8 till 1, and I'll be finished 2 hours tomorrow. One wall and a chimney breast. 650.
nice.
650. No prep.
Yeah,
But that is hanging 350 quid a roll wallpaper.
yeah, yeah.
And
You've got to be competent to do it.
you've
'Cause if you
got to,
cock up, it's going to cost you.
yes.
Where did you learn to wallpaper? Was it you self-taught or?
Well, when I was 17, it's a funny story. I wanted to be a fighter pilot because my father was a fighter pilot instructor. I learnt to fly at an early age. He taught me, I got my licence. And I got refused on the grounds of I wore contact lenses.
Right.
So I thought, sod it. They could offer me heavy jets, but no, I wanted to go and bomb people, and that, as you do as a kid. But no, I said no. So I took a month off and I went down to Ashford, Kent, where I had some friends. And I was bored, and my friend's dad was a decorator. And he said, look, come on out with me for a few days. And I loved it. He just showed me how to sand things down. That's all I was doing for a week. Sanding
Yeah.
down. He showed me how to fill and that. But I loved it. And he says, look, you got the aptitude for this. You listen, but more importantly, you listen to what I'm saying I'm a quick learner, and for the next 4 years, that's it. Never went to college, nothing. He was he taught me everything. He gave me the basis, and I worked with him for those 4 years. Then he died, and then I thought, what am I going to do now? So I worked for a firm for a couple of years, hated it,
Yeah.
and I thought, sod it, I'm going to go on my own, and that was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Best decision I ever made,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
I wasn't being told what to do.
yeah, I'm self-taught wallpapering, but you know, I don't know years ago whether they had it, but like the Dulux Academy and Brewers now, they do some good courses.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's just a skill set, but I found as well many people around where I live just don't have,
But you know
and
what
it's
I like about wallpapering? I mean, especially with my PTSD over the last couple of years after my bad car accident, um, it makes you concentrate.
yeah,
I mean, when you're painting and spraying, your mind can go, you can't do that with wallpaper.
no,
You have to concentrate, getting
yeah,
the pattern matches right. I mean, mind you, even with expensive wallpaper, there's faults in the bloody wallpaper.
oh yeah,
Um, and then that buggers everything up. But to be fair, most of these big manufacturers of wallpaper and that, the big names, if there's a problem, they'll replace the whole lot.
yeah,
That's why it's so goddamn expensive. They allow for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What make was the expensive wallpaper? What make was it? Do you remember?
Colfax and Colfax and something or other.
Oh, nice.
It's it's like it's almost like putting grass on the wall. It's like a It's like a Hessian's grass sort of feature. But going around a corner, Jesus Christ, it's like putting cardboard on the wall. Heavy
Yeah.
cardboard. It is that heavy.
I done
But
one years ago. It had like little crushed kind, not crushed, like little kind of marbles in it, like
oh yes,
glass.
I know the
Yeah.
sort. Yeah.
Honestly, like I just could not get my head around how you cut it. You know, so I was swapping a blade every cut, but you were like, I was going
Scissors.
across it and like they're pinging off and like
Yeah.
it's
And
just
when you get it round the
ridiculous.
corner, they ping off.
Oh, it's just the worst paper I've ever hung. You know, it's just like how are you supposed to get it right? I don't know.
But here's the funny thing. I've often had arguments with interior designers, and I said to one, it was about March, April this year. I says, "Why the hell did you recommend that paper? Why?
Because it
He's
looks good.
bloody." He, he said, "Well, it's a lovely." I said, "Look, it looks lovely, but you
Yeah.
got to think about us poor bastards that's got to hang it. You
What
know, honestly."
what paints do these interior designers tend to recommend?
Most of the interior designers tend to stock uh I'm just thinking 5 of the 6 that I deal with stock little green. um the rest, uh one uses no, 2 use coat. um but and the rest just will get whatever, will let you get whatever. They'll just choose the color, and then you just get whatever you want to use.
They're both good paints,
Um,
aren't they? Little green and coat I've used on some cabinets and stuff.
Little Green, I think, um, Little Green and Brad Eye are the 2 most, certainly the last 6 months, the most popular paints I've used.
Yeah,
I mean, I spoke to
it's a
Brad
shame you
Eye.
missed our little warehouse tour. That
Oh
was really
God,
good.
yeah. Well, I'll be going up there soon.
Yeah, no, they're really
I was
accommodating
on
and
their hit list. I was their what's the word? Influencer, because I I'm letting all my secrets out here, Christ.
you
Um
better not have any more wine, Gene.
yeah. Right. I spoke to a lot of manufacturers about, I'm not naming people, but there's certain people out there that do regular things on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. but they're doing it the wrong way. And this is the manufacturers saying that to me. And and that's why they're not getting looked after or supported or sponsored by, because there's no loyalty to a brand.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you can't scatter yourself across 20
It's 20
brands.
different brands. Yeah, just because somebody sends you a freebie, don't do a... Is there any need to do a video on it? Especially when it's... I don't care how good a product it is, that if it's not something... As decorators, you, me, everybody else, we all have our favourite brushes, our favourite paints, everything. And it takes a lot to get me away from my favourites, because I know my favourites. I know how they work. I know how they'll last. So why do I want to try something new in somebody's house that
Yeah, that's the
I don't
difficulty, isn't
know?
it? Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I mean, others have got other opinions.
Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
tricky one. Like obviously a number of companies sponsor brush wizards, but they're in it. Obviously we show offers and promotions stuff like that, but they're supporting a community which we
it's
created.
different doing it like how you're doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's everybody is benefiting.
yeah,
It's not just an individual. That's
yeah,
the way I view it.
yeah. So Little Green, Brad Eye, amongst your favourites right now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I have a couple more. Ticarilla, across their whole range, is superb, as is Zinza.
Yeah,
Zinza's got a product for everything, although a lot of it overlaps. But you can't go wrong with Zinza. But since I've started I've been doing a lot of work on conversions and extensions. People that have bought an old house and they've literally had it all re-skimmed throughout. I did one that took about, what was it, 12 tubs of the 10 litre, the big Optiva primers. Sprayed that on the bare plaster, and I tell you what, that's a game changer.
yeah,
Optiva primer. Oh,
yeah. I don't spray,
forget
but
watering down.
I
Forget
use it
watering
for
down
fresh
from this
plaster.
coat.
Yeah,
Optiva
that's right.
primer, boom.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that is you can use it on wood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, use it
I
on
didn't
wood as
know.
well. So you go straight over the architraves and skirting and everything. It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
No
It is
faffing
good.
about
It's
masking up.
That's right. And years ago, watering down and getting splattered, rolling a ceiling is just
God,
horrendous.
Jesus. God, bloody hell. Those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah. So what about you and spraying, Gene? Are you self-taught again, or did you?
Self-taught. Well, about 20 odd years ago, I helped a friend of mine who had a garage. I said to him, look, would you teach me spraying if I decorated your garage? His doors and that. And he said, yeah. Please bear in mind though, spraying old car panels is totally different to spraying a bloody wall.
Yeah.
Totally different. But he showed me the basics. And then I bought a compressor and a gun and that, and I thought, yeah. But it took me 3 or 4 years before I had the nerve to actually do something in somebody's house.
Yeah.
And I've had this argument with many people about this year alone, I've had to correct 6 kitchens. This year alone, 6 kitchens that people have done, having been on a course, and they've just been let loose in a kitchen. I don't care how good you are mentally, physically, anything like that. You've got to have some balls to do that, and then bugger it up
Yeah.
is your first thing. what I did when I started on kitchens about 10 years ago, I got hold. I went round old kitchen places and that to get old doors
Yeah,
that they
practice.
were throwing out.
Yeah,
And I spent a year, maybe 2 years, spraying them, perfecting how I did it.
yeah,
Because you didn't have any idea how to mask up or anything back then, because there
yeah,
were no schools back then. The schools have only come about the last few years.
yeah. What
In
machine do you
reality,
use for it, Gene?
sorry,
What machine do you use for spraying?
uh, I got 11. I,
Jeez.
I collect machines. I'm fatal. I've got Greco GX21, the GXFF. I've got 2 Titan 440s. I've got 3 Greco quick shots. They are brilliant. They are brilliant for
I've
small
seen them.
jobs.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've got 2 Q5s. I've got IQ3. What's the other one I got? Oh, it's another Wagner, another Greco. Can't remember what it's called now.
I hope you got a garage, Gene.
Yeah, I've got a lockup. I've got a workshop.
Yeah. So in terms of just again for teaching people who are looking to get into spraying, what would you advise them to get into? So, for example, kitchen spraying, or where's good money for you in spraying?
Good question. Forget new builds. Forget new builds. It's a good way to learn, but a lot of new builds won't let you spray now. Certainly up in our area, they won't let you spray now
Right.
because they can't touch up. Unless you spray, unless there's a team of you, one sprays, one back rolls.
Yeah.
Um, the I well, we see UPVC is one, but I still have this question about UPVC spraying is quite recent.
Yes.
And it's about the question I get asked every time I do one is how long will it last? I don't know. I don't know. Because it's a relatively new idea. So, I mean, I've hand painted them using certain paints. I've sprayed them using certain paints. I must have used Christ knows how many different paints on UPVC. And I'm not doing UPVC next year.
Well, how quick does it dry? You know, because it's
Depends what you use.
yeah, of course, but
But it
like
can
the
dry very
ceramics
quick. It
or
can dry very quick.
yeah, because you've got to have the right conditions, haven't you?
And that's the big problem when you're spraying UPVC.
Yeah.
So you allocate, like you see these people that are on Facebook weekly. They're even spraying outside in this bloody weather. I'm thinking, what? What? Forget that.
Yeah.
Sod it. Don't care how quick it dries. It's a
Yeah.
cold. It's not the drying time. It's the temperature.
Yeah.
So it's like next year. It'll be the last year I do outsides externals.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'll spray stucco.
Yeah.
You know, render. I'll spray that. I'll spray bricks and that. But I won't paint outside windows.
Yeah. I gave it up maybe 6, 7 years ago. Outsides,
It just buggers your schedules up.
always.
Oh, you know, you think, oh, Christ, you just get started, pisses it down. Oh, and you can't believe the weather forecast either, so that buggers you up.
Yeah. So in terms of spraying, give me an idea again, and for people listening, say you've got. It depends on various factors. So, say you had a living room to do, will you always get your sprayer out,
No,
or it just depends on how clear it
people
is,
have
how
this
much?
people have this misconception on spraying. Jamie from Abode said this, that only about 70% of the spraying can be done. You cannot spray everything. It's a
No.
physical impossibility because you think about spraying is quick. but you got the setup, you got the masking, you got emptying the bloody room. All that takes time. You could have rolled it in that time. So media walls always get sprayed. That's a big thing at the moment. Media walls.
Yeah, it's
I
still
mean
quite
that
big,
can
isn't
be a
it?
big that can be a good earner. But people don't understand that I had a customer that spent nearly £4,000 on having this media wall built with shelves and cupboards and everything.
What, MDF or?
Well, it was a mixture. It was MDF and wood, and he had wood panelling in an MDF frame. I thought, Jesus, and but the prepping of the MDF takes time, and I felt, I charged him nearly £2,000, and he said that's half what I paid for this. Says, well, it's taking me a bloody week to do it.
Yeah.
I don't work for nothing.
I think people that get MDF like wardrobes done and stuff like that, I had one years ago, and they think, oh, it's quite not reasonable, but because the materials are fairly cheap and stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't, but then the decorator comes in and they don't realise it's going to cost them an arm and a leg because it takes,
But do you know
especially hand
something?
painting, 4 coats or whatever, 5.
There is one roller that's out there. I did this job for this customer this lovely cottage in the country, and I thought I'm going to try this new roller. And I sprayed one door and I rolled the other. You couldn't tell the difference.
Come on, Gene, don't hold us to it. What is it?
Axis.
Oh, the silk.
No, it's that yellow one.
Aren't they called
Can't
Ultra
remember
Touch? Is it Ultra Touch?
something like. Can't remember what they're bloody called now. They are brilliant.
Yeah.
They are stunning.
Axis, I'm sure it's Ultra Touch. I need to double check. I should know because I've used them
But I
myself.
can't. This is what PTSD does to you. It buggers your memory up. Sometimes your mind will just go totally blank. I've
Yeah.
been spraying all these years, and sometimes I'm thinking, shit, how do I set the sprayer up? And then it'll just suddenly come back to you. I'll go
Yeah.
away for half an hour, have a drink or something, and that's it, yeah. And then you're off again.
Hopefully not a wine.
No, not a wine, coffee.
Just a strong coffee. Yeah, Axis. I'll confirm it when we finish up. But yeah, I've used them. I've done some paneling,
They're
and they
brilliant.
are bloody good.
The finish on them, I was, and these were like floor to ceiling doors. I didn't lay it off, nothing. And what paint did I use? Emerald Aqua, Ticarilla, and I was gobsmacked at the finish. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Why do I need to get my sprayer out and faff about when I can just roll it? And I timed it from setting up my sprayer to getting it sprayed, etc.,
Yeah.
to rolling it, no difference.
Do you know what? It's bugging me. I'm trying to look online now what these rollers are called. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sure it is the. Hold on. What is it? Yeah, you've got Axis Pure Flow.
That's it.
Yeah, it was bugging me. Yeah, they are really good. Axis Pure Flow. Yeah.
But they will give you a spray finish. The other one was the Two Fussy Blokes.
Yeah, I've never used them, but seen them recommended a lot.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad. They're nowhere near as good as these.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Nowhere near as good as these.
So
So if I've just got small areas to do, like I'm doing a kitchen next week, and I'll be using that roller because I'm doing it in situ.
Yeah. So in terms of some other little gems, in terms of products, brushes and stuff, what do we go for? Obviously, there's
Arrowworthy.
Arrowworthy, yeah. What, they're classics or?
I've got loads here. Of course, I've got loads here. The Rembrandts I love. But the new Patriots, Have you
Yeah.
tried them?
No, they look good.
They are nice. They're
Yeah.
nice.
What about in terms of like rollers, sort of 12-inch, 15-inch rollers? What do you?
The most I ever use is a 12.
Hmm.
Um, because I normally, wherever I can, I will spray a sealing with AR2.
Yeah.
AR2 is my only sealing paint as a general rule. I'll also use Armstead Contract Matte
Yeah.
because that's a lovely paint.
Yeah.
That goes on beautifully.
Yeah.
Um, but the rollers are the Arrowworthy Blue Veins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've never used them, but seen them mentioned loads.
I started using them after talking to Kevin at one of the shows,
Yeah.
Paint Warrior.
Mhm.
And I was always using a medium pile, but since I went to a long pile, God, what a game changer.
Yeah, I like to get plenty on.
Yeah. And I
Mm.
think that the long pile does it. And when
Mm.
you see people in the like my local paintwell, they're brilliant.
Mm.
Any people that want information on spraying, they just give them my number, and I'll talk to them and talk them through if they want to buy a sprayer. I'll tell them what sprayer to go to, blah blah blah, and
Which
then
is
I'll
your
get
local paintwell? Because they might listen.
Newark.
Newark. That's good to know. It's nice when Jessica was on last week mentioning, like brewers in Mansfield. It, people get this sort of
Where's
perception
she
of,
from? Is she from Mansfield then?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, she's only up the road from me.
yeah. People get these perceptions of certain companies, but you can't, judge them all by one branch or whatever, because there are, there's gems, isn't there? There's managers which are really superb.
Well, I'll tell you a really funny story. What happened with brewers? Um, my local brewers at the time when I lived in Newark was Lincoln.
Mm.
And I'd been to the trade show at Coventry and I'd got all these brewers' vouchers to go and get free paint. And I went in on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, and the girl said to me, because I got a brewer's account, she said to me, "We only ever see you when you want your freebies," and the shop was full. And I said, "Excuse me, how dare you talk to a customer like that in front of others?"
Yeah.
So I went straight on their Facebook page.
Oh, Gene.
And 3 days later, one of the directors rang me up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, there was no need for that because somebody else had also reported them that was in there
Yeah.
for saying that." And they said, "What can we do to rectify the situation?" He says, I'll speak to the girl. There was no need for her to talk to you like that." And I thought, okay, well, make a suggestion. What if I send you some vouchers?
You're going in again with vouchers.
Yeah.
I think, in
I said,
fairness, though,
fine.
like most branches just want to build relationships with painters, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
But my local paintwell, they're flawless. Absolutely flawless.
yeah, that's good.
I can order something and it'll be there in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You know.
So going, like you and I have both been around a while, painting a while. Your recommendations again is get into like niching down with stuff, right? So wallpapering, spraying, getting the right contacts, interior designers. Anything else to add, Gene, to help people?
Well, do you remember the old days when we used to do like the marbling and the stenciling and the crackle glazes and scumballs and all that? It's all coming back. It's all coming back again. And I'm thinking, Christ, really? Is all that coming back? Oh,
But
God.
my issue with that is I think it's good to learn new skills, but I think people approach it wrong. So they would learn a new skill, then expect their everyday customer to have this done. Whereas the reality is
Yeah.
it's probably linked to interior designers again, which
Yeah.
offer bespoke services or ideas to customers. So I think
He's,
it's good going on these courses, but then you can't expect your regular customers to
oh,
suddenly have
no, it'd
feature
be
walls
one
and
in a
stuff.
50, one in 100 customers that'll have that. But here's something I've learned. Have you used Delapro Nova?
I haven't, but seen it. Yeah.
Right. I've been doing some what I call fake Venetian plastering with it. You roll it up,
Yeah.
and you get different types of rollers, and you can do bits
That's
on
like the
it.
old Artex.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And you let it almost set, and you get your skimming blade, and you flatten it off slightly,
Yeah.
and then you paint it. What a finish that gives!
So you do it flat. You just,
Well, not flat,
oh
so,
right. So
but so it's got a patternage to it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
you're
good. Yeah.
rolling it up and down,
Yeah.
and it leaves the ridges. Then you
Yeah.
just slightly flatten them ridges off, and
Yeah.
then you paint it.
Do you know what? I'll tell you a story years ago. My dad, he's a panel beater and sprayer by trade and worked with me for many years after he retired. But he got into the old Artex in and do the old bark
The
effect.
fancy combing and all that
Yeah, but
stuff.
you know, remember the bark effect? But he didn't flatten it off. So I'd be younger, coming home drunk and sort of fall into the wall and it'd be like spikes, you know, like
Yeah.
it's
Ow!
cut, yeah. But he was well into his Artex and he loved it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good shout. I mean, did you just come up with that idea yourself or?
Well, what I came up with that idea at the Coventry show last year
Okay.
when I watched them do it, and I thought, I wonder if I could do something with that.
Mm,
And I got half a dozen MDF boards, sort of like about 2 foot by 1 foot, and I experimented with different rollers, flattened it. I thought, bloody hell, how simple is that? If
mm,
somebody has got a really manky wall,
yeah,
and they just want it covered in a nice pattern or whatever,
yeah,
and then you get your air sprayer, and I sometimes actually use, the artist's air sprayers, the small ones, the
yeah,
Diddy ones. You
yeah,
use them, and you can just pss, 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 like that,
mm,
and you can get lovely coloured effect. It looks like wallpaper. It's
yeah,
brilliant. It's
yeah,
brilliant effect. Cheap,
yeah.
but you can charge for it.
You'd have to show us some if you got any
Samples.
pictures or
I'll,
you know,
I'll,
yeah,
I'll sort them out. They're in my unit. I'll sort some out.
yeah, that'd be good. So get people into specialising, connecting with the right people.
I think
What
the
else?
biggest thing is, I think, well, I had, I used to have trainees from the local college
Mm,
come round with me for a week's work experience, and I had this girl. She was brilliant at wallpapering, bloody brilliant. I couldn't fault it. In the last year, she couldn't paint.
mm,
She couldn't cut in, she couldn't roll. And I said to her, what's the problem? She says, we spend 70% of our time wallpapering. I thought, what?
mm,
Because the tutors think wallpapering is the in thing now.
sure.
You got to paint first.
Yeah, you got to know the prep side, right, and painting.
That's it.
Mm,
That's it. But I think, uh, what advice would I give? God, don't be scared of trying.
yeah,
Don't be scared of failing. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've buggered up some kitchens. Luckily, when people have been away on holiday, because normally I'll spray a kitchen when they're away on holiday.
yeah,
And even today, I will mess up. You will still mess up. I mean, I sprayed. I remember I had to do 3 different colours in a kitchen. The island one colour, a tall bank of things one colour, and the low bank in a different colour. I got them all mixed up. Got them all mixed up.
you had one job to
But
do, Gene.
But luckily, I had time to correct it.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but phew, it was close. It was close. It was close.
yeah. I think that's a good point, actually. Like, if you do the same stuff week in, month out, year out,
You get
and expect
complacent.
different results, it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So
I
I've
like
always,
a mixture. I like a mixture.
yeah, I tried all sorts. I went on like a resin course years ago for kitchen
Oh, that's
worktops,
something I'd like
flooring.
to do. That'd be
Yeah,
my next one. The
yeah.
worktop course.
So I tried at my house, but little did I know I had to level my floor out, and then I wanted a white glossy floor.
Oh, your
Well, I,
floor, not the worktops.
yeah, I don't try my floor, but I didn't know white was the hardest one to do. I cocked up about 4 times, spent about a grand on materials, and it
Ooh.
still looked crap. So now I've just recently done my kitchen. All I can do is get a lino put down because I've raised the floor so much. I can't put it, and it's like I hack it all out.
I
Um,
wonder how easy that stuff is to chip up.
well,
A jackhammer.
it's pretty solid, but it's done. It's made a good base for my lino. But
Oh
I've always
God.
tried different stuff, and even for a good number of years, I'd done exterior cleaning, and I bought a steam machine and steamed like brickwork and worked on old
Oh
buildings
really?
and stuff. And that's really good money in it, honestly.
I tell you
Um,
why there is good money. Spraying, and this doesn't matter how good you are in reality,
mm,
or that as long as your finish is good, is doing industrial warehouses,
yeah,
spraying the walls on that.
yeah,
That is, it's easy to learn, and you don't have to worry about too much mess because the place is empty as a general rule.
yeah.
Um,
You
that is good.
know,
I probably do half
Ian
a dozen
Elliott,
of them
don't
a
you?
year.
You
Sorry?
know Ian Elliott in our group. He done one recently, a
Yeah.
big warehouse. Done it all blue, and that he looked like a Smurf at the end of it. But a nice big area. But yeah, like you say, just try stuff out. I mean, if it's not quite working, or you're not earning enough, or whatever,
Mm.
or even I say about if you're not busy, just connect with everybody. Connect with all the local trades. Connect with estate agents, interior designers.
Estate agents,
I know what you said earlier can be dodgy, but if you set your terms, then perhaps it'd be different.
but the trouble is, estate agents will not take your terms. They
No,
have their terms, that's it.
yeah,
If you can put up with being with late payments, I mean, I'm talking 2, 3, 4 weeks late,
mm,
fine. If you
yeah,
can put up with that. But a lot of these people aren't in that position to be able to worry, they're worrying, shit, I need this money this week.
yeah,
They're notorious for letting you down,
yeah.
estate
Even,
agents.
even if you connect with plasterers, hopefully there's some good ones out there. But you
There
know,
are. I've met some
once
that
once it's
brilliant.
plastered, what's next? It needs painting, right?
Mm. And they're in a position because they're in there before you
Yeah,
that they can say to the homeowner, look, I know this guy that, you know, even if you give him a 50 quid or something,
yeah,
he'll start recommending you.
yeah. Or chippies that do the kitchens, do the wardrobes, media
Hmm.
units.
Yeah.
All you just got to put yourself out there, haven't you?
I'm finding more and more people are having kitchens handmade and then painted afterwards
Yeah,
than going down the route of a finished kitchen, shall we say.
yeah. That's been
Um,
my speciality the last 10 years is going in after a handmade bespoke kitchen. So they come
yeah.
pre-primed, and then they've always gone with Farrow Ball modern eggshell, which after a while took me a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's a great product
Do you
to
know
use.
what? I shouldn't say this. I hate their paint, but I love the kitchen paint for the cabinets.
Yeah,
It's bulletproof. As long as you follow their system,
yeah.
it's bulletproof.
I think with
Um,
Farrow Ball as well, the latest couple of products which they've brought out aim towards us painters using them more.
yeah.
Because the older ones obviously are Mark Easy and all the rest of it, and they know all this, but
Mm,
it's their best sellers, the emulsion. But the dead flat, the new eggshell, it's designed more for us.
mm.
And someone recently used a dead flat and color drenched the whole room and was delighted with it.
Mm.
So they know what products work and what don't.
It just takes time to bring it out.
That's right. That's right. But it's just that again, that's what Brush Wizards is all about. Is speaking to these companies. I mean, I've got Little Green coming in for a chat next week. I
Oh,
want
they're
to get
coming down to you.
no, not coming down. No,
Oh,
they wouldn't want to be in my shed in my garden. But no, Ben's coming on to have a chat. So yeah,
oh,
it's
I
just
love
speak.
Little Green. I love that.
Yeah,
They are such. That guy, I can't remember his name. The guy that invents the colours. The long hair and the glasses.
Simon, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, the hippie bloke, as I
yeah,
call him.
yeah.
He is brilliant.
Amazing.
He remembered my name
Yeah,
from the Bolton show. He even remembered the colours that I chose as a combination. I thought, Christ,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
He's got a great job. When we went up there, explains he just goes around all these heritage properties, hacks off a bit of plaster, takes it back to the lab, examines it, sees all the layers, all the colours, and how he creates all the colours and stuff. It was really fascinating when we popped down there. It's
Oh,
really good.
everybody there is brilliant.
Yeah.
It really is a brilliant company. I'll tell you who you also ought to get. You ought to have a word with Tickerilla.
Yeah, I'll do a bit with Tickerilla. Yeah. So we're going to get Tickerilla on. It's just I keep saying to Gareth, who I know well, you're going to come on. He's like, oh, I might do. But yeah, just I want to make a mixture of speaking to painters, and also
Get Zinza. Get
manufacturers.
Zinza on.
Yeah,
Who's your local Zinza rep?
I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'm not sure.
you see, this is something else people don't tend to do. Decorator, I have made it my work ambition, if you want to call it that way, to get to know the reps. Because I've nurtured relationships with the reps for many, many, many years, and it's now paying off. I can ring them up and say, oh, send us this, send us that. And they will.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid of getting to know your reps.
definitely. And do you do reviews at all, Gene, or do you just?
Here's the thing. Going back to what I said previously about how there's no
Yeah.
brand loyalty amongst how people do things.
Yeah.
I do it differently.
Yeah.
I take videos or I send pictures of what I've done to the people who support me.
So you send
Then
it
they
direct to
use it
them,
on
and then
their social media.
okay, gotcha. So you don't bother with your own channels and stuff. You
No,
just film it,
do you know
send it to
what?
them.
Every time I speak to people about it, the abuse they get online, they get ripped.
What about
Why
after
do
this?
I want to do that?
Well, you're doing it now, Gene.
No, but I'll have a laugh with people, but you'll never
Yeah.
really see me giving abuse to people like some people get.
Yeah.
You think, Jesus Christ.
I guess
No
that makes
wonder.
sense. That makes sense for you and how potentially other people could work with companies. So if they get a product, they do a review, do a video, which the companies can use
And
on their own
send it to the
socials.
company direct.
Yeah, yeah. Because let's face it, if you do it on your own socials, unless you want to be an influencer, you're not going to really get jobs as such, are you, from it? You know?
Well, you know what? I spoke to a certain influencer. I won't name them. And he said he spends 2 hours a day on editing.
That's huge, isn't it? Most people don't have time for it, do they?
Well, that's it. 2 hours a bloody day.
Yeah.
Christ.
I
Sod
would
that.
I would say 95% of decorators don't have time to do edits unless you pay someone to do it.
Yeah, but then why would you want to pay somebody to do it?
Yeah.
I can't understand the way that people are doing this, these so-called influencers. I can understand if you've got a business where you're promoting the business, like say an abode or paint tech or something like that. They're promote to get people in. I can understand that. Fine, no problem with that. But as a general rule, as an individual, I mean, how long do these people spend actually decorating?
Yeah, but I guess there's, a handful which I know, which are pretty much, I would say, full-time influencers and they're making a living from it. So you can't knock them.
No,
But
no.
I think
If you've got it, flaunt it.
yeah, I think the problem is like other people thinking it's easy to be an influencer, and it's quite
It's not.
tough because there's
It's
so many
not.
people doing videos. But you should do it, like you say, to perhaps connect with companies or as a catalogue to show your potential customers, what you do.
That is another thing. But like at the show, they were giving away freebies. Although I felt this show what do you think of the show this year? I felt it was
First day
down from
felt really
last year.
busy for me.
I there was fewer stands there
Yeah.
than previous,
Yeah.
and it was interesting that several stands weren't there. Purdy weren't there. Hamilton weren't there.
Mm.
Festival weren't there. And I think with it going over to the NEC next year,
Mm.
I certainly heard from 3 people. Oh, Tickerilla weren't there.
Mm.
Zinza weren't there. So a lot of these companies are going to be looking at the price of what it's going to be at the NEC
Yeah.
because the costs are going to be higher.
Yeah.
NECs are, well, I think it's outrageous the prices from what I've been hearing. Jesus.
I mean,
Uh,
what I would say is, I don't know, you've been to the Brewers ones, and they're throughout the country. They're actually very,
Brilliant.
very good.
They're, the one at Mansfield was fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought was the best show I've been to was the one at Bolton?
Yeah. Yeah. Paula does a good
That
show.
was
Yeah.
brilliant. I'm
Yeah.
booked up there for next year. I'm staying in the Bolton Hotel over where the actual event is.
Yeah. I saw you booked
Um,
already.
it was brilliant. It was fantastic last year.
Yeah. I didn't go last year.
Fantastic.
A couple of years ago, I've been.
You got to go. You got to go up there. You got to go up there.
Yeah. Well, you've booked a room for me, haven't you, Gene? Right, Gene. Well, I think
I'll
we're.
get one of my supporters to pay for it.
God, yeah, that'd be nice. I think we'll wrap it up, Gene. We've covered so much, and I think there's been a lot of gold content which you've shared with us.
I'm
You know, I
charging
know
for
you
that.
just want to help
If anybody
people.
wants to contact me for more information, I'll charge them.
Yeah, I know what you're like. But yeah, yeah, I'll leave you details if you want. But no, I mean, it's just ultimately like you. We want to raise our game, you know, for other decorators. We want people to be busy. We want people to earn more money. We understand people that are struggling. You know, when you've been
Mm.
established a long time,
It's
it's
easier when
easier.
you've been in the business a while.
Yeah. But no, you know, really great stuff we discussed, and I really appreciate you coming on, mate.
Hey, I've loved every minute of it.
And yeah, I think I'll go and have a wine now. But yeah, thank you very much, Gene.
Thank you, Gary. Been a
All right.
pleasure.
Yeah, you look
Take
after
care.
yourself. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.